At number 10, Kim Kardashian. After the 2022 Met Gala, Kim Kardashian had the chance to wear a dress originally worn by Marilyn Monroe when she sang "Happy Birthday, Mr. President" to the then president, John F. Kennedy Jr. Now, in a move that truly broke the internet, the reality TV star managed to get her hands on a $5 million dress famously worn by Monroe in 1962. But how on earth did Kim get her hands on such an iconic piece of history? Well, you can thank Kris Jenner for that one. However, after the Met Gala, the internet would be truly outraged at the fact that Ripley's allowed Kim to even wear the dress, as it would begin to circulate online that the reality TV star actually ruined the dress for the short period of time that she had the chance to wear it before changing into a replica dress, with Kim denying that she ruined the dress and that there was handlers present to put the dress on her. Even Ripley's would come out to try to say that the dress had already previously had damage to it. However, if you've seen the before and after photos of the damage done to the dress, you can obviously see that the dress was damaged during the Met Gala, and Kim and Ripley's are just lying to us to cover it up. And considering that Kim had a replica dress, she didn't even need to wear this dress in the first place. At number 9, Bella Thorne. Bella Thorne was definitely for real when she got caught in a lie wearing animal pelt after claiming it was faux fur. When Bella Thorne tried to shake off her social media critics back in 2018 when she posted an outfit of the day photo to Instagram rocking a fur coat, she made sure the trolls on the internet wouldn't come for her after claiming the fur wasn't real animal fur. Some users were quick to point out that the jacket looked very much like Alice and Olivia Tara's striped fur jacket, and the product listed on the site claimed that the jacket was made out of real fur. On the website, the product's overview would say crafted with super soft rabbit and blue fox fur. Bella's reps would then clarify the whole situation with TMZ, and they would later report that Bella was actually given the coat during a photo shoot and she was told it was faux fur. Her representatives also noted that now that she was aware of the actual material, she will no longer be wearing it. However, I mean, considering all clothes come with tags that let you know what the true materials are, Bella definitely knew the jacket was made with real fur, and this definitely was a way her representatives tried to cover up the truth to save her image. At number 8, Justin Bieber. Remember back in 2014 when Justin Bieber took to Instagram to say he bought himself a jet for Christmas? Well, it turns out that the pop star actually didn't buy himself his own set of wings, and that he was actually just renting the jet. According to TMZ, inside sources with direct knowledge about the private jet said that Justin was merely just chartering it for a Christmas flight from Canada to New York City. In other words, technically, it was just a really expensive Uber. While most of us were shocked that Justin took to his Instagram in the first place to brag about what Santa brought him for Christmas, the Gulfstream 650. Now, no doubt it was definitely a comfy ride, but it wasn't a ride in his own jet. Now, considering the jet was estimated to be around $200 million, it would have cost him just over a quarter of his entire fortune. Now, there's no denying that the jet was absolutely gorgeous, but the fact that Justin was pretending that he bought a jet definitely landed him on the naughty list that year. At number 7, Taylor Swift. Even though it's been 3 years since Taylor Swift and her former manager, Scooter Braun, started a highly publicized feud back in 2021, Scooter would open up about the truth and it would be revealed that Taylor lied about everything. Now, the feud all started when Scooter dropped $300 million to purchase Big Machine label group, including all of its music catalogs, through his holding company. Scooter was able to secure masters from some musicians like Florida Georgia Line and Thomas Rhett. However, they wouldn't be the only artists affected by the purchase, as Scooter was even able to acquire everything Taylor Swift produced on her first albums. Taylor was definitely not fond about the deal, and she would come out to say that she was sad and grossed out by the sale, and she would also accuse Scooter of being a manipulative bully, and that she was never given the opportunity to buy back her own music before it ended up in Scooter's hands. When Scooter came out to talk about the messy situation, he would claim that Taylor had been lying to all of her fans all along, as he even offered to sell her back the music. Scooter would even say that he tried to sit down with Taylor 7 times to sell her back the catalog, and even went under an NDA, and her team just refused. So Taylor pretty much lied about not being able to buy her music back, because Scooter did try to squash the beef between the two. At number 6, Rebel Wilson. When Rebel Wilson tried to lie about her age by giving fans the impression she was still in her 20s, she would also give all her fans a false impression to a journalist when she said that her real birth name was Rebel Wilson. The Australian magazine decided to run a story, Rebel would come out to say that in a series of articles in 2015 that damaged her career by panning her as a serial liar, having told untruths about her real name, age, and childhood. Rebel would also claim that she never lied to any journalist and that she simply just deflected questions about her age because a lady never tells. Back in 2014, Rebel would claim that she was around 29 years old when she had the interview with the Australian's Woman Weekly. However, Wilson at the time was actually in her mid-30s. Rebel would also confirm that Rebel was her real name and how her mother came up with it. However, she was actually born with the real name of Melanie Elizabeth Bowens and legally changed her name to Rebel Elizabeth Wilson, with Rebel denying that she ever had the interview to begin with. A hairdresser would then later testify saying he witnessed her speaking to a woman before her shoot, and just like that, Rebel would be exposed for her lies and her real background would be exposed, and we were all truly shook. At number 5, Paris Hilton. It's really hard to say that Paris Hilton was joking in 2017 when she took to Twitter to say that she and Britney Spears invented the selfie. When Paris headed over to share 2 selfies of her and Britney Spears, she would caption the post by saying, 11 years ago, me and Britney invented the selfie. Her Twitter mentions would then be flooded by users who would prove her claims were false. With many users still giving her the benefit of a doubt, it would later be revealed that a professor at the University of Southern California that Paris was definitely lying. The professor definitely had a good chuckle when he said that Robert Cornelius was actually the first person who created the first selfie when he took a picture of himself back in 1839. Not to mention there was a lot of celebrities taking selfies before Britney and Paris started snapping photos of themselves on their wild night out. And while Paris Hilton did not invent the first selfie after she made the post, her and her publicist wouldn't respond, and it was definitely pretty funny that she tried to bring Britney Spears into her lie. At number 4, Kylie Jenner. Kylie Jenner can go pretty far just to get some attention, and the star isn't one to shy away from a good lie. At one point in her life, she even tried to convince us that she never had lip fillers done. However, a few years ago, she tweeted that she was eating cereal with milk for the first time and no one expected a fan to call her out on her lie. Now, many of us couldn't believe that Kylie actually never tried cereal with milk before. But when Joseph Shepard did some deep digging, he would tweet back to Kylie saying, "Girl, you lying. You had cereal with milk on April 25th, 2013 and posted it on Instagram." Joseph definitely came with receipts and it was pretty funny to read. However, after the post was posted, people began having a discussion whether the cereal was coated in milk or yogurt, but it definitely wasn't yogurt because the cereal appeared to have this little milk drizzle on it. And if it was yogurt, the strawberries would have been covered in it. Also, there's no denying that as a child, she also ate cereal with milk in it, because what parent doesn't feed their child cereal with milk growing up? And number 3, Tyga. Tyga definitely had a lot of us fooled for a long time. When Tyga released his first album, No Introduction, after it was released, he still needed to introduce himself and explain how he grew up. In 2013, an old video would be leaked of a show called Bustas, and it showed a teenage Tyga talking about living in Los Angeles. Tyga would then say he grew up not too tough and his parents had a Range Rover, but he was still very street. Now, the snippet raised a lot of questions as Tyga has always said he was from Compton, the West Coast city made famous by people like Dr. Dre. After the video surfaced, Tyga would come out to set the record straight during an appearance on Big Boy's Neighborhood, where he would say, "The intro beginning was scripted. I grew up in the Valley. I lived in Compton my whole life. I'm young, I'm ambitious, I don't care. I'm getting a check for this. I'm having fun, and I'm about to be on TV." Now, the controversy pretty much settled down after he explained himself, but it still makes us question if he's really telling us the truth on where he actually grew up before making it. At number 2, Zac Efron and Vanessa Hudgens. Disney may have been the most preferred channel to watch when we were younger, especially for teen viewers, but it's not known for leaving the same impression on its teen cast. Now, the studio is definitely widely admired for its amazing PR strategies and marketing campaigns to promote a movie or a series. But several teen stars emerging from the House of Mouse have revealed how far these strategies actually took a toll on them. Now, I think we can all agree we couldn't help but raise our eyebrows when we started to connect Disney's PR strategies with Vanessa Hudgens and Zac Efron's relationship. It really seemed at the time like it was a Disney dream dream come true when the High School Musical stars started dating. But after the final movie was released, the two would break up, and it led to many of us to think that they were simply only together to promote the films. Since the two got together, they were always on the news for their popular off-screen romance. So it surprised us all when they would end things after the franchise released its last film. Disney and the pair tricked us into thinking that they were an actual couple, bringing in more views to the film, and it isn't the first time Hollywood has made us love an on-screen couple and has made the co-stars fake a relationship just to bring in more views to the movie. Hollywood uses this move to bring in more press, and it definitely worked in this case because we all thought this relationship was real. And at the #1 spot today, we have Beyonce. During an interview with Marie Claire UK, Beyonce would suggest that she wrote the lyrics to the song Irreplaceable. Beyonce would go on to say, "I'm not sure people think I wrote this about Jay-Z or something, but obviously the person is not the person at all." Now, we all wondered at the time when the song was released if it was written about her husband. However, the song couldn't possibly have been written about him because Beyonce never wrote the lyrics to the song at all, and it would actually be revealed that Ne-Yo wrote it. In an interview with a radio station, Ne-Yo would discuss the songs that he had written for other artists, and he said one of the songs he gave away that he didn't want to was Beyonce's Irreplaceable. "I honestly wrote that song myself." Ne-Yo would end up giving the song to Beyonce because he felt like if he sang it as a male, it wouldn't have come out right. However, I think we're all disappointed that Beyonce tried to take the credit for the whole song herself when Ne-Yo wrote it, and she definitely should have given him the credit because he definitely deserved it. Starting off the list today, we have at number 10, Jennifer Lopez. Age can definitely be a touchy subject for some people, especially when that person happens to work in the entertainment industry. Now, there's no denying that Jennifer Lopez looks ageless. And many of us can't actually believe that the star is actually 53 years old, as the star looks years younger. However, it seems like Jennifer got a little touchy about the subject when she tried to convince us back in the day that she was actually born in 1970. For the star trying to shave just a year off her lies would eventually catch up to her after a police report would expose Jennifer's real birthday. Back in the day, Jennifer was dating her then boyfriend, Puff Daddy, who is known to be now as P. Diddy. She would be questioned by police in a nightclub, and the issue about the altercation that involved her boyfriend in the club located in New York City would expose her age. When the press was finally able to get their hands on that police report, Jennifer's lies would be exposed because up until that point, she claimed to be born in 1970, not 1969. Even today, some outlets still claim that Jennifer was born in 1970, so the lie still lives on. At number 9, Chrissy Teigen. After it was revealed that Chrissy Teigen was bullying Courtney Stodden online when she was just a child, Chrissy would try to explain that she reached out about the issue to Courtney and issued her an apology privately. However, Courtney would then reveal that Chrissy never tried to reach out to them privately to apologize for the abusive tweets and direct messages that they received back in 2011. Courtney then went on to say that she did accept her public apology and forgave her. The truth would still remain the same, that they never heard from Chrissy in private. She would then also reveal that Chrissy had blocked them instead of issuing an apology to them in private. And the fact that Chrissy would go on to block Courtney instead of apologizing leads us all to believe that her initial apology wasn't really sincere, and it felt more like a public attempt to save her image and her partnership with Target. Chrissy was a broken record, as she wasn't as nice as she seemed, with Chrissy claiming that she was mortified and sad with who she used to be, who was ashamed of completely being embarrassed by her behavior. And number 8, Bow Wow. Back in 2017, Bow Wow would post a photo of him on Instagram where he tried to convince us all that he was boarding a private jet from Georgia to New York to promote his upcoming TV show Growing Up Hip Hop. However, as soon as the photo began to circulate online, a fan on the same commercial flight Bow Wow was really traveling on would surface. A fellow passenger would say, "So this guy, Little Bow Wow, is on my flight to New York," but on Instagram he posted a picture of a private jet caption, "Traveling to New York today, shaking my head," and if the situation couldn't get any worse, fans would then spot the original photo Bow Wow posted, which appeared to be taken from a website from a Florida VIP transportation company. After Bow Wow's lies were exposed, he would then react. Bow Wow would say, "I'm flying and I like the picture, I'ma throw it up. And I'm flying to New York, but I like this picture better. I didn't say that I'm on this jet, I'm about to travel." However, by posting the jet, he definitely was trying to pull a Justin Bieber on all of us, and he knew exactly what he was doing. He just didn't think he would get caught for it. At number 7, Shania Twain. Shania Twain lied about her heritage, and it was really offensive towards the Native American community. When Shania Twain tried to claim that she had Native American blood running through her veins, a Canadian newspaper that began to circulate around her hometown before going viral would claim otherwise. Twain would then react by retreating her statement and would say when she was just 2 years old, her biological dad left and her mom would marry a man from a Native American tribe who happened to be Jerry Twain. When Shania was just 4 years old, however, Clarence Edwards was actually Shania's biological father. When Shania's mom married Jerry, Shania would state that he was the only father she had ever known and that her stepfather legally adopted her at a young age, so she was led to believe from the longest time that he was actually her birth father. But when she made the comment, she knew about her real birth father. And she made the comment without being certain about her heritage, which would force the singer to backtrack on her comments and would be like, man, I feel like a liar. However, that wouldn't stop Shania from legally registering herself as having 50% Native American blood, as she was able to do so thanks to her father adopting her. At number 6, Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj is another celebrity who clearly thinks age is just a touchy subject, as back in 2011, Nicki would be caught lying about her age. She tried to claim for years that she was actually 2 years younger than what she actually was. With the incident being pretty pointless, it would cause a bunch of us to question why she was only trying to shave off 2 years. Nicki's age lie would be exposed after she was involved in a serious conflict. The rapper is now known to be born in 1982. She's currently 40 years old. For the longest time, however, though, she was able to maintain this huge lie that she was actually born in 1984. However, when the rapper found herself in a serious altercation, a police report would later reveal that she had been lying about her age, and she was actually 2 years older than what she led us all to believe. However, I don't think any of us were really shocked that the star was lying, as she's been lying to us for years about not having any plastic surgery done. And the police report that exposed her just proved that she wasn't the real authentic person that she was telling us that she was, and that you can't trust a pop star with an over-the-top ego who sings songs about being an alpha female on top of the world. And number 5, Britney Spears. Back in 2021, Britney Spears would admit to all of us that her bizarre social media posts that led us all to believe that she was okay were all just a lie. When the pop star spoke to Judge Brenda Penny, she would reveal that the severity of her mental health and well-being was deteriorating due to her being under a court-order conservatorship. Britney would go on to say that, "I've lied and I told the world I'm okay and I'm happy. It's a lie. I've been in denial, I've been in shock, I am traumatized. Fake it till you make it, but now I'm telling you the truth, okay? I'm not happy, I can't sleep, I'm depressed, I cry every day." For years, none of us truly even understood what was happening with Britney Spears, and she used her social media to paint a picture to her fans that she was happy and she was doing fine, when she really wasn't. With videos of her dancing around her Calabasas home, none of us truly knew what Britney was going through. Britney wasn't able to be truly happy until she came out with her truth. However, the 13 years she had to suffer at the hands of her father were truly saddening, and we're all just happy to see her finally free and doing what she wishes. And number 4, Martha Stewart. Now, Martha Stewart is known for her crafty planning tips, delicious recipes. However, in 2001, her involvement in an inside trading scandal would lead to Martha's arrest, and she would be sentenced to prison for 5 months. So for those of you who don't know what inside trading is, it's pretty much a practice in which an individual buys or sells stocks they have in a company using information that's not available to the public. Insider trading is illegal, and if you're found guilty of the offense, it can result in some pretty heavy fines and prison sentences. Near the end of 2001, things really didn't start to look good for I'm Clone after the company failed to get FDA approval on the medication they were developing. During an investigation, one of the founders of the company would be arrested, and investigators would also discover that Martha had sold 4,000 shares of the stock she owned with the company just 1 day before the company announced the FDA's decision, and she somehow managed to avoid losing around $45,000 in the process. Martha has repeatedly denied any wrongdoing and claiming that she had an agreement with her broker to sell the shares if they went below a certain price. However, that would just be a lie, and Martha would then be charged for security fraud, obstruction of justice, and conspiracy. And number 3, Rick Ross. When photos of Rick Ross started to circulate of him working as a correctional officer in the mid-90s, his past would become a huge topic as the star would try to deny the topic for years until he made an appearance on the Full Send podcast. Rick would speak about his brief stint as a correctional officer and why he doesn't beef with other rappers, with Rick admitting he worked in a Florida jail between 1995 and 1997. He said that he is now open about that experience and what it was like and why he chose to leave the job behind. Around the time when he was 20, he really didn't get to make it to prison because you have to go through a lot of training, and he actually didn't even last that long, as he was only there for 4 months before they told him he was too tardy for the job. And that's why he went to pursue another job. For the longest time, the rapper tried to deny being a correctional officer because he felt like it took away from his street credit. After admitting to his job, he would then say that even rappers need to have a job every now and then. Coming in at number 2, Sean Kingston. Sean Kingston definitely tried to pull one on us, and he definitely tried to pull one out of Justin Bieber's books when he tried to impress his date. Back in 2012, Sean would tell the paparazzi that he was the proud new owner of Justin Bieber's sports car as he bought the car from Bieber. I think Sean knew that Justin was consistently lying about buying cars and jets and yachts, that he wouldn't call him out on his lies. However, that definitely would not be this case, as it would later be revealed that Justin didn't sell him the car and that he only lent it to him for a couple of days. And while we can only guess that Bieber won't be trusting anybody with his things anymore, I think it's worth mentioning that Justin probably shouldn't be trusted with Justin things anymore, as he consistently lies about them to us. However, it was still pretty funny to see Sean sweat it out when Bieber exposed his lies and said that he was only borrowing the car and that the car was already back safe in his garage. And coming in at number 1 today, we have Khloe Kardashian. So back in 2015, Khloe would be caught in a Thanksgiving pie lie. Khloe is definitely like all of us when it comes to dealing with the holidays and the stress that surrounds it. However, when the star was caught lying about taking credit for pies that she did not bake, something tells us that at some point or another we have all been found guilty of committing the same crime. When Khloe took to her Instagram to share snaps of pumpkin, pecan, and cherry pies, she would then try to claim that she baked all of them from scratch. However, it looks like she actually purchased them from Sweet Lady Jane, a bakery that's located in West Hollywood, as fans pointed out that the desserts looked highly familiar as other celebrities had during the season, that they shared similar posts and credited the bakery. Now, it seems like this wouldn't be Khloe's only Thanksgiving offense of the lies, as the year prior she actually shared a photo of the same trio of pies in the oven and captioned it, "All of my homemade greatness." So if Khloe ever serves you a pie in the future, it probably wasn't homemade.
Kicking things off at number 10, Hilary Duff. Former Disney star Hilary Duff is known to have lied about her age. Unlike many other celebs though, she didn't lie about her age to book a role. Hilary actually lied in order to get into clubs when she was younger. She revealed that when she was younger, she used her sister Haley's ID to get into clubs, though she was always recognized. I don't think people actually believed her lies when she was trying to get into clubs when she was underage. People probably just knew that she was famous and they let her in just to make themselves look better. Ironically, she's been on a show called Younger, and the series is literally about lying about your age. Talk about coincidence. I guess all that time faking her age really paid off in the long run. At number 9, Eminem. Rapper Eminem is caught lying about his age during a Howard Stern interview back in 1999. This was at the start of his career, so maybe he just wanted to start things off by having people think he's younger than he really is. In the interview, the rapper told Stern that he was 24, but later on people realized that he was born in 72, and at the time of the interview he would have been 27. Some people thought that maybe he just forgot how old he was for real, but we may never know. Also, side note, I didn't know Eminem was that old. I've been here thinking he was like in his 30s for the longest time, but turns out he's almost 50. I'm honestly shocked. In at 8, Jennifer Lopez. Up next, we're talking about Jenny from the block. J-Lo was caught lying about her age back in 1999. A lot of this stuff happens in 99. For a while, she had been telling people that she was born in 1970 and that she was 29 at the time. But following a nightclub shooting in 99, she and P. Diddy, her boyfriend at the time, were brought in for questioning, and that's when the truth came out about her age. When police ran her through the system, they noticed that her information didn't quite match up, and so so she had to come clean and reveal that she's actually a year older than she claimed she was, and that she was born in 1969 and was actually 30 years old at the time of the incident. Now, don't get me wrong, JLo is still looking fuego, but why did she feel the need to shave off a year? Just 1 year doesn't really make much difference, but I guess she just wanted to live her 20s one last time. Coming in at number 7, Whoopi Goldberg. Whoopi Goldberg is known for acting in productions like The Color Purple, Sister Act, and Star Trek Next Gen. She's played some pretty iconic roles, but did you know that she actually lied about her age to get a lot of these roles? Unlike many other stars who say that they're younger than they truly are to get ahead in the industry, Whoopi actually claimed to be 6 years older than she really was. Whoopi has said that she needed to pretend to be closer to her 40s in order to get a role. This lie started back in 1986 when the actress was 30, but told producers that she was 6 years older in order to book a job, so she claimed to have been born in 1949. This is not very common to see a celebrity say that they're older, since most of them want to preserve their youth in the media, but Whoopi did it to secure her bag, so props to you, Whoopi. In at 6, Jay-Z. There's been some confusion surrounding Jay-Z's age. On a radio talk show, host Troy Turan claimed that he and Jay-Z were actually the same age and were both 50. He went on to say that the idea that he was in his mid-40s was made up and that his real age was 50. A lot of people bought into that and just assumed that Jay-Z was lying and that he just wanted to seem younger than he really was. But then records came out showing that Jay-Z was in fact born in 1969, making him 44 years old when the speculation came about. But I think that he's still lying about his age. I think he's much older than that, since he's a high-ranking member of the Illuminati. This guy is for sure immortal, and maybe his records say that he was born in 1969, but really, he could have been born in 1769, and he's been alive ever since. Halfway through at number 5, Steven Spielberg. Steven Spielberg is one of the most coveted directors in Hollywood, and his origin story, if you will, is one of the most unbelievable tales. Basically, the story goes that he was 21 and he snuck into the Universal Studios lot, found a vacant studio, and basically became a squatter there. He pretended to work there for months until he got caught, but then his film career took off from there. But there seems to be some discrepancies with his story, mostly concerning his age in that tale. Though he recounts that this happened in 1969 when he was 21, it turns out that if his birth date is correct and he was actually born in 1946, this means that he was actually 22 or 23 at the time. But on the other hand, he's also said that his time of sneaking into the Universal lot took place in 1965, and that means that he was 17 at the time, which really means that he was 18 or 19. Basically, the bottom line here is no one knows what happened and at what time and how old he was then. I think he's stuck in a time loop, honestly. There's just too many dates and times to keep track of. At 4, Nicki Minaj. Rapper Nicki Minaj is another celeb who's lied about how old she really is. For a long time, she had us believing that she was born in 1984, but turns out she's actually 2 years older and was actually born in 1982. Her age discovery actually happened in a similar way to JLo. Nicki was arrested in 2011, but when she was brought in by police and had to record the incident at hand, it was then that her real age was revealed, showing that she was 2 years older than she said she was. I think she lied about being younger to appeal to her demographic, since her music and her image was so colorful and upbeat. Her career was still fairly new, so marketing herself to the right audience was still important. But still, only 2 years? 2 years really isn't that much of a difference. Coming in at number 3, Rebel Wilson. After a high school photo of the actress resurfaced, Rebel was forced to come clean about her age. Although she had been claiming to be 29, the source revealed that she was actually 36. That's a pretty big jump, but you wouldn't have believed it if she didn't say anything. One of Rebel's former classmates was actually the one to call her out for lying. She said that the actress was born in 1979 and graduated high school in 97. Rebel came out saying that she felt hurt when she was called out. She also went on to say that in the film industry, a lot of people face ageism and sexism, so she wanted to seem younger in order to avoid this. She was so cheesed that she even took the publication who leaked her age to court and won just over $3 million for the defamation case because she claimed that the leak cost her jobs because of her age. In at number 2, Nelly. Rapper Nelly really bamboozled a lot of people when the truth came out about his age. Back in 2003, Nelly was included in Teen People's list of the hottest stars under 25. Obviously, to be eligible for this list, you have to be under the age of 25. That's kind of a given. So Nelly and his representatives told the publication that Nelly was 22 at the time, and so he was accepted and put on the list. Later on, it was discovered that he lied about his age to get into the publication, but this was not a little lie. Oh no. Instead of being 22 like he said, he was actually 28. That's a big jump. If you're gonna lie about your age on that list, I'd understand if you were like, oh, I'm 24, but you're actually 25. Like, that's not a big deal. But to go from like, oh, I graduated high school 4 years ago to, to I'm almost 30 is a big ol' stretch. Finally in at number 1, Mila Kunis. Mila Kunis has been known to lie about her age from time to time, but one instance when she lied about her age where it actually paid off was back when she auditioned for That 70s Show. When she auditioned, the producers asked her age, and she told them that she was going to turn 18. What they didn't know was that she was actually 14 at the time. That's a pretty big age gap when you think about the fact that she was claiming to be almost a legal adult when she was actually an 8th grader. Mila's argument for justifying her lie was that she was turning 18, but she never said when. She would eventually turn 18, but that was just gonna be a little bit longer than they assumed. I mean, she's not wrong, but still. Obviously this lie worked out in her favor as she booked the role, but man, it's a good thing she didn't get in much trouble for this.
At number 10 we have American actress Renee Zellweger. The rumors of her alleged plastic surgery operation started from her attendance at Elle's Women in Hollywood party in 2014, where the entire internet decided she looked completely different from her last public appearance. And trust me when I say they were not quiet about this. Aside from her not seeming like her usual self visually, Renee spoke with people about the issues following the social media rampant. She told the media outlet at the time, quote, "I'm glad folks think I look different. I'm living a different, happy, more fulfilling life, and I'm thrilled that perhaps it shows." In line with her previous statement, she also touched on the fact that she felt like the conversation stimulated around her appearance in general were targeted at her by people who were snooping for an unrealistic truth, and how they wouldn't stop hassling her until she finally addressed it. Yet people were still far from convinced anyways, so I guess there went her hopes for less harassment. At number 9 we have California girl singer, songwriter, actress, and TV personality Katy Perry. This pop princess has certainly made her mark in Hollywood over the years, but one thing she says she has not done is undergone plastic surgery. Perry dished to Refinery 29 in a January 2018 interview about which cosmetic procedures she apparently made the decision to greenlight versus the ones she had not. In typical girl boss Katy fashion, she also proceeded to flock to the defense of people who obtain plastic surgeries, as she understands that doing so is both a decision and right completely for themselves. The Dark Horse artist detailed, quote, "I haven't had any. I've done lasers and gotten injections under my eyes for the hollowing, which I'd recommend for everyone who wants a solution for their dark circles, but all my assets are real. People tend to think they are fake, but it doesn't really matter." We're getting away from the negative stigma about physical alterations. Of course, always be your authentic self, but if someone wants a nose job that makes them feel better and they love their profile more because of it, go ahead, do whatever makes you feel better about yourself. At number 8 we have Emily Ratajkowski. Emily had accusations of getting lip injections before, and she took to her Instagram stories to address the topic in January 2021. In this, she fired back with, "For anyone saying you need to stop with the lip injections, I've never had lip injections. No judging folks who do, but you can't get injections when you're pregnant." She even pulled out the statistics to back up her facts, following up with, "A woman's blood volume increases 50%, which is why ladies can get a little puffy in the face and lips during pregnancy." In response, fans had said things like how Emily had been pregnant forever, which was a rude comment she very quickly shut down. She even later shared a picture of herself from the 6th grade to prove her natural lips are nearly identical, keeping in mind that as we develop, our facial structures can change slightly, so they wouldn't be 100% the same. Still, quite the impressive way to prove your point, Em. At number 7 we have American actress and model Megan Fox. Now Megan had to respond to her own set of plastic surgery rumors in the Windmill back in 2011, where she clapped back with a quirky Facebook album under the title, "Things You Can't Do With Your Face When You Have Botox." And if this wasn't nearly comical enough in proving her haters wrong, Megan proceeded to create various facial expressions and at one point pointed to her wrinkles in the collection of photos. And well, when you're as stunning as Megan is, I can see why people would flock to the "she's had plastic surgery for sure" spiel. But regardless, please remember that not every beautiful celebrity has gone under the knife to achieve their attractive auras. Some beauty in Hollywood really is natural, and neither way is a wrong one of living. I know it's so easy to gossip about others' lives and what they choose to do with it, but we should really start refraining from commenting on people's appearances in general, even if we feel like some celebs are actually lying about it. Anyways, let's move on. At number 6 we have the ever so iconic singer, actress, and dancer Jennifer Lopez, known mostly under her stage name of J-Lo J-Lo, with how much popularity she's accumulated in her youthful looking years, it's no surprise that she's yet another celebrity who received plastic surgery accusations. In January of last year, J-Lo uploaded a video of her testing out her new face mask under her J-Lo beauty line. A user on the platform posted a comment which reads, "You definitely have Botox, and tons of it. And it's all good, just saying." This seemed to be Jennifer's snapping point because she rapidly responded with, "LOL, that's just my face. For the 500 millionth time, I've never done any Botox or injectables or surgery. Just saying. Get you some J-Lo beauty and feel beautiful in your own skin." Jennifer then added on to this comment with the statement, "Here's another J-Lo beauty secret. Try spending time being more positive, kind, and uplifting of others. Don't spend your time trying to bring others down. That will keep you youthful and beautiful too. Sending you love." What a classy way to stick it to him. At number 5, we have American model Kendall Jenner. Now the Kardashians have all been under loads of heat both in the past and presently about their supposed cosmetic procedures and lacks of truth in them. So of course Kendall was not safe from social media's firings. In a 2017 upload on her website and app, Kendall debunked cosmetic surgery theories from fans following a Facebook Live event she and her sister Kylie collaborated on. Kendall explained how her younger sister's makeup skills were the reason why her appearance seemed altered. Fans were not convinced, but Kendall still wrote the following quote, "All of a sudden photos of us came out with headlines like, 'OMG, Kendall got her lips done and got full facial reconstruction. Look at her cheekbones, look at her nose.' I was like, this is crazy. I didn't even address it at the time. Because if I address it, people are gonna be like, oh, so she's defending herself. She must be guilty. As a model, why would I have my face reconstructed? It doesn't make any sense." Kylie had previously cracked a joke by accepting responsibility for the spark of rumors of Kendall's face when she did her older sister's makeup. She informed Snapchat that Kendall let me overline her lip today with lip liner and everyone thinks she got lip injections. I'm sorry, Kendall. At number 4, we have another American model. This time it's Bella Hadid. Models seem to be a trend for centering around accusations of them lying about plastic surgery. But I believe it's because a supermodel's entire career is based on how she looks. And unfortunately, that means speculations and criticism will always come at large against the praises. As an accomplished model in gigs, Bella also takes one of the top spots of being a style and beauty icon. So naturally, she's been under fire for not being entirely natural. But Bella has denied these claims every time. She spoke with InStyle for an interview in 2018 where she stated, "People think I got all this surgery or did this and that, and you know what? We can do a scan of my face, darling. I'm scared of putting fillers in my lip. I wouldn't want to mess up my face." At number 3, we have Hailey Bieber. Amongst her fairly recent title of being Justin Bieber's wife, she is very much her own person because of the mega successful supermodel career she maintains. Hailey has also faced previous backlash about possibly lying about getting procedures done, and many will say her before and after pictures speak for themselves. Her subjection to harsh criticism led to her slamming a plastic surgeon account on Instagram when a side-by-side photo of her as a teenager was being compared to her visuals now. Quote, "Stop using pics that are edited by makeup artists. This photo on the right is not what I look like. I've never touched my face, so if you're gonna sit around and compare me at 13 and then me at 23, at least use a natural photo that wasn't edited so crazy." I think I'll leave this one up to you guys to debunk though. At number 2, we have another Kardashian. This time she is the core of their bunch and single-handedly the reason why they all have their fame today. Kim Kardashian has always been a touchy subject when it comes to plastic surgery theories for as long as I can remember. But one instance that really reeled everybody in was her body accusations after she gave birth to her eldest daughter Northwest back in 2013. Naturally, the reality star was absolutely livid about the fact that her post-baby efforts in the fitness department were suddenly being overshadowed by accusations of her having gone under the knife to achieve her bounce-back body. She released a tweet which stated, "I'm very frustrated today seeing reports that I got surgery to lose my baby weight. This is false. I worked so hard to train myself to eat right and healthy. I worked out so hard and this was such a challenge for me, but I did it. I'm so proud of my accomplishment and no one will take this away from me with fake reports. Say what you want about me, but I work hard and I'm the most disciplined person you will ever meet." As if she hadn't proven her point enough though, Kim spoke out once more a couple of months following a fan questioning on social media why it was so hard for everybody to believe she didn't work hard to achieve her body. They also complimented the reality star by saying how great she looked, to which Kim had responded with, "Preach, LOL, thank you. It sucks when people make up surgery or Photoshop lies when I'm so disciplined and worked so hard. Just trying to motivate others and show anyone struggling with weight they can totally achieve what they want if they're dedicated." I'll leave it at that. At number 1, we have our affluent pop princess Ariana Grande. This wouldn't be the first time the gorgeous starlet would receive rumors of lying about procedures people believe she's undergone, but it would be the last time she used up her energy to address it. Ariana once pointed out in a 2014 video, quote, "On the cover of some magazine they said, 'Oh, Ariana Grande, boob job, brow lift, cheap shaving, lips done.' I was like, you're comparing a picture of me from when I'm 14 years old to when I'm 21, and I'm wearing a push-up bra." Ariana also readdressed the rumors while reminiscing at throwback family photos with her older brother Frankie. While doing so, she lightheartedly joked, "That's why I'm on the cover and they're saying I got plastic surgery. Goddamn, puberty went nice. It came late, but she finally came through for me."
In spot number 10 is lying about a crime. Lil' Kim's lie was more serious than other ones on our list. She did the unthinkable and lied to a federal grand jury. Back in 2005, she was sentenced to a year and a day in prison and was fined $50,000 after she lied about a criminal case and got caught. Her intentions were good in the sense that she lied in order to protect her friend who was involved in a 2001 shootout that took place in Manhattan. She was called to testify on behalf of her friend and manager, Damian Butler, and she claimed that she did not see him on the day in question. However, video footage then showed that they were together that day, so she was pretty much busted. She ended up admitting to her lies in her own trial, and that is when she was put behind bars. Coming up next, number 9 is a sex tape. There are plenty of celebrities we could probably have in this category who have made up an excuse or lie to hide the fact that they have made a sex tape. But one iconic example is the time that Kim Kardashian lied about her tape, which is what people say made her famous. In 2007, there were rumors going around that Kim and her then boyfriend at the time, Ray J, had made a sex tape. Of course, she denied these claims anytime she was asked about it during interviews. But then, a few months down the road, the infamous video got leaked and she issued an apology. But some people also came up with the theory that she lied about the whole thing and that she planned the video to get leaked and that it was all a publicity stunt. So, what do you guys think? This is literally one of the biggest debates ever. If she lied, or was this whole sex tape planned? Maybe she did want to get famous off it. Rolling into number 7 is song lyrics. When it comes to songwriting, it's not uncommon for artists to work with other people to help create the lyrics to their song. But taking credit for it is never the right thing to do, and rumor has it that is what Beyonce did for one of her songs. Back in 2008, the Queen was taking credit for her catchy lyrics in her single, Irreplaceable. Now, she did write the background harmonies, but it was later revealed that Neo had actually written the song. He talked about it during an interview and actually admitted that he regrets giving the song away to her. He said, "One song that I gave away and didn't want to is Beyonce's Irreplaceable. I honestly wrote that song for myself." People were actually shocked to find out it wasn't her behind those words, and it was actually one of his personal experiences. Moving on to number 6 is lying about an injury. Maybe there's been a time in your life that you faked an injury to get out of something, or you made one seem just more dramatic than it really is. Ed Sheeran did this, but we did not find out about it until later on. Back in 2017, he was making headlines after reports said that he accidentally cut his face with a sword during a party. People took it very seriously because they didn't have any reason not to. But then a few months later, the story was confirmed to be a total hoax. During an interview with Shortlist, James Blunt dished out the truth and said, "Ed was drunk, messing around, and he cut himself. We made a fancy story up, people fell for it. It was very embarrassing." Embarrassing for Ed because he was drunk and did that, or embarrassing for us because we actually believe that he cut his face with a sword? I believed it. I'm also an idiot. Halfway through our countdown at number 5 is lying about a song. We have already touched on the subject of artists lying about song lyrics, claiming to be theirs, but this is a little different. Singer Robin Thicke was called out for lying about one of his songs to a point where a plagiarism lawsuit came from it. In 2012, his hit song Blurred Lines was taking over the radio, and he listed himself as co-writer for the lyrics alongside Pharrell. But then, 2 years later, in 2014, a plagiarism lawsuit popped up when it came to light that the track may have been a ripoff of Marvin Gaye's song Got to Give It Up. Robin then denied that he had written the song and actually put the writing status on Pharrell instead and claimed that he was not the co-writer after all. When all was said and done, Marvin Gaye's estate ended up receiving $7.3 million for the song. So that was an expensive lesson to learn about telling the truth. truth, although maybe it wasn't intentional, you know? Like maybe they didn't mean to rip off the song, but it sounded like it. Up next, number 4 is lying about cosmetic procedures. This one is probably the most common one on our list. Oftentimes, celebrities will hide the fact they've had any kind of work done and claim their features are natural. Like Kylie Jenner, for example. Despite being famous for her Kylie lip kits, there was a time when she was denying having lip fillers done, even though people could see very well that they were done. For years, people were calling her out for having noticeably larger lips, but she always said she was just drawing them bigger with lip liner. Then, in May 2015, the truth was revealed by the girl herself during an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. During one scene, she said, "I have temporary lip fillers. It's just an insecurity of mine and it's what I wanted to do. I want to admit to the lips, but people are so quick to judge me on everything, so I might have tiptoed around the truth, but I didn't lie." No, that's a lie. That's still very much a lie when you're denying that you had them done. Taking over 3rd place is lying about your age. Let's be honest, it is not only a celebrity thing to do. There are times when someone will lie about their age to get into a club, or maybe lie about their age to feel younger than they are or older. But Nelly's reason was a little ridiculous, and fans couldn't believe he would lie about his age just to qualify for an award. There was an annual list going around for teen people's hottest stars under 25, and it seems like he really wanted to be on it back in 2003. He ended up being nominated as one of the hottest stars under 25, but he was lying to people and to himself because he was actually 28 years old. I don't know how no one caught on to this in the process. Like a quick Google would probably clear that up, but he must have wanted it that bad. In spot number 2 is lying about marriage. There's been many occasions where celebrities have faked relationships as a publicity stunt. I've actually done a few videos on it, so I know for a fact there is a lot. But lying about a marriage, that is taking things to a whole different level. Actress and singer Brandy announced back in 2002 that she'd gotten secretly married to music producer Robert Smith. She said they kept the wedding private, and they even went on to be featured in Diary Presents Brandy Special Delivery, which documented the birth of their daughter. No one would have ever guessed that the truth was to come in 2004. Just 2 years later, it was revealed that they had split up, and that is when Brandy explained they had actually never been married in the first place. Like on her whole documentary show, she faked the whole thing. She ended up giving a public apology on the Oprah show, but people were not happy. I mean, just why even say you're married? But I did watch the episode on the Oprah, and she just felt guilty for having a baby and not being married, and she knew she was pregnant, so she just said she was married. The pressures of Hollywood, I guess. We've made it to number 1, and we have lying about a serious crime. In January 2019, the former Empire actor Jussie Smollett started making headlines after reports said that he got attacked during a serious hate crime. They claimed it happened outside of his Chicago apartment when 2 guys jumped him and started calling him racist and homophobic slurs. The crime was being taken very seriously, and it sent shockwaves all around Hollywood and on the internet. But then 1 month later, it was revealed that he actually planned the whole thing and that it was actually fake. The 2 suspects actually brought the check with them to court that he had written to them to act out the whole thing and go along with it. He ended up getting kicked off the show and was charged for filing a false police report, but somehow the charges were later dropped, which is still mind-boggling to me. He literally just got off clean. Lost the show, and probably a lot of respect, but no legal charges.
And number 10, Jennifer Lopez. There have been a lot of celebrities that have lied to the public about their age, but this one was a weird one. For the longest time, Jennifer Lopez had the public believing that she was born in 1970. However, in 1999, a shooting took place inside of a nightclub where Puff Daddy, Jennifer Lopez, and Shine had been partying. The incident led to a 10-year prison sentence for Diddy's then protege, and one of the victims that evening was Tanya Rubin, who was actually shot in the face. Diddy, who was acquitted of all charges related to the case, settled with 3 victims of the 1999 club shooting. According to those reports, Rubin was paid $1.8 million, and yes, she survived that shot. When the police arrived though, they had to identify everyone involved with the incident, which led to Jennifer being caught in a lie about her age. In reality, she was born in 1969, but for whatever reason, she felt like knocking off that extra year made her feel younger. In at number 9, Milli Vanilli. For those of you who are too young to remember, Milli Vanilli was a German R&B duo from Munich that took over the charts with their hit song Girl You Know It's True. However, one live performance in Bristol, Connecticut is what brought their whole career to an end. The band had the song on a pre-recorded track, but midway through the track got stuck. Imagine getting exposed like that in front of 80,000 people. This incident though unraveled a whole bunch of other lies. The band eventually had to tell the public that they've never even sung any of their own songs. Rob, who was one half of the duo, was so distraught with what happened that he quit the group shortly after. In at number 8, Miley Cyrus. Back in 2018, Miley Cyrus was fighting to have a videotape of her deposition sealed by a judge. According to The Blast, Cyrus was caught up in a legal battle regarding her sister's dog Feather. Cyrus's sister Brandy lived in an apartment complex that was paid for by her older sister. In 2014, Feather bit one of her neighbors, and because Miley paid for the apartment, she was forced to sit through a deposition where she answered questions pertaining to the dog. She claimed that she didn't know the dog, which is a hilarious statement to say in a courtroom. However, after the neighbor did some digging, she found a video of Miley and Feather together from years back. She brought the evidence to court and used it to prove that Miley's testimony was a full-on lie. Once Miley learned of the video's existence, she went to court to file an amended declaration claiming that she did know Feather after all. Now Miley is asking for that judge to seal the videotape of the deposition. Her argument is that she is one of the most famous celebrities in the world and is the subject of media and tabloids speculating concerning even irrelevant minutiae details of her life. That neighbor couldn't care less though and still wanted the video to be released to the public. Although I don't think I've ever seen it. In at number 7, Nick Young. This is just another one of those messy celebrity breakups that had people shaking their heads the entire time. At first it started as a prank when the LA Lakers were recording player D'Angelo Russell and inadvertently included fellow player Nick Young. In the video, Nick apparently admits to cheating on his girlfriend, rapper Iggy Azalea. Young then says it was false, Iggy says okay, and the relationship goes on. However, not too long after that, she actually catches him on the security camera bringing women into the home. To make things even worse, Young was still expecting a baby with his ex-girlfriend, a baby that was definitely conceived while he was cheating on his ex with Iggy. And following the security cam footage, Iggy tweeted out, "I broke up with Nick because I found out he had brought other women into our home while I was away and caught them on the security footage." Then tweeting again saying, "This is just like a second shot to the chest and I feel like I don't even know who the hell it is I've been loving all this time." In at number 6, Kanye West. Kanye West has been doing his Kanye best to get himself into this election for November 3rd. The odds seemed to be very stacked against him, but time after time it looked as though he was finding new ways to prevail and end up on the ballot in most states under the party known as the Birthday Party. That being said, his petition to appear on New Jersey's ballot as a presidential candidate contained more than 600 defective signatures. Many of those signatures had very similar writing, and according to a formal complaint filed with the state on Wednesday, election law attorney Scott Salmon, a registered Democrat, filed the objection with the State Division of Elections after reviewing more than 1,300 signatures that the rapper had submitted. West managed to exceed the requirement of 800 signatures to appear on the ballot as an independent candidate in time for the deadline, but now his whole campaign is up in the air due to him being caught in this lie. In at number 5, Rebel Wilson. Rebel Wilson was outed for lying about her real name and her age. The Pitch Perfect actress had previously stated that she was 29 years old and that her real name was in fact Rebel. But thanks to an Australian tabloid, the world found out that she was actually a 35-year-old named Melanie Elizabeth Bounds. A year before the revelation, Wilson had told the tabloid that her real name was Rebel and that Melanie and Elizabeth were middle names she used in school to avoid getting teased. The tabloid uncovered official Australian documents that not only showed that to be untrue, but also proved that she was born on March 2nd, 1980, a full 6 years earlier than she had claimed. 2 birds, 1 stone on that line. In at number 4, Angelina Jolie. Born in Los Angeles, California, Angelina is the daughter of actors Jon Voight and Marsha Bertrand. She is also the niece of Chip Taylor and sister of James Haven. On her father's side, Jolie is Czechoslovakian and German descent, and on her mother's side, she is French-Canadian and is said to be part Iroquois. Angelina has proudly said that she is part native, but according to her father, it's not true. According to John, his wife's claims of being part Iroquois were simply said to enhance her exotic background. After 1993, Bertrand turned her attention towards producing, and she was the executive producer of a documentary called Trudell about Native American activist John Trudell. It was shown at the Sundance Film Festival in 2005, and whatever her ancestry, Bertrand took an interest in Native causes and shared her activism with Angelina. Since then, Jolie has taken up causes such as refugee and immigrant children, although she is more than likely not Native American. You can care about it, but don't claim to be one. In at number 3, Bill Clinton. 22 years ago, the U.S. House of Representatives voted to impeach President Bill Clinton for giving a false testimony about having an inappropriate relationship with White House intern Monica Lewinsky. The potential scandal of 1998 saw the 42nd U.S. president give false statements under oath with a notorious one-liner leaving a big mark. The infamous words were broadcast during a press conference on January 26, 1998. In the summer, the president then admitted that he had been involved with Ms. Lewinsky, deeming the relationship not appropriate and a critical lapse in judgment. Mr. Clinton was later charged with 2 articles of impeachment, one for perjury for lying under oath to a federal judge, and the other for obstruction of justice. Impeachment proceedings then began in early 1999, concluding with Mr. Clinton being acquitted of both charges. Ah, democracy. Oh, and he wrote on Jeffrey Epstein's plane 26 times. Don't forget that. Last but certainly not least, on our number 1 spot, Amber Heard. Amber Heard willfully lied to U.S. immigration by telling them that her British personal assistant was just a friend and was not working unlawfully. Her former aide, Kate James, who was fired by the actress in February of 2015, has now alleged in a high court battle that Miss Heard deliberately smuggled her dogs into Australia, which then led to her being caught breaching quarantine rules and overall thinking that she was just above the law. The claims were made in a witness statement by Miss James, which was submitted to the High Court as part of Johnny Depp's libel action against the Sun newspaper.